Sometimes depends on the weather. I haven't been up there in a while. I don't run for 50, go last weekend. Where's the phone? Oh, yeah, you bet. Their phone wasn't updating communication, and their phone is 4 minutes back. We're both on Verizon, but her phone is on. Yeah. We were on AT&T for a while. Yeah. Word about it. We went back to Verizon. They're driving better in this area. I was thinking about Oh, they don't have any. Well, I talked to somebody. I would rather not. What do you do? No, I don't.
Testing. You can hear that? Okay, awesome.
No, the state. Like it's time.
Morning, everybody. Good to see so many of you here. And we've got a nice day. So we'll go with that till it isn't nice. I think it's going to rain later again, but whatever. So I'd like to call to order this, how many? 84th meeting of the Bayview Funeral Home, and welcome you here. And I'm glad that you're here to take part in this. So at this time, I would ask you to stand as you're able, and we'll pledge allegiance to our flag. Which direction is it? There it is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll now call on Chaplain Don Malinsky to lead us in an invocation.
Remain seated. We're informal here. Remain seated. Before I begin, I'd like to make a few comments. You know, this is not an easy job because it's not a job. I'm talking about this business here. It's more than a business. It's more than a job. It's a calling. It's a calling. And this is not a staff. This is not a team. This is a family. And families serving families is what it's all about. Let us bow our heads in prayer. In humility, I come before you, O God. I pray, use me as your instrument today. Please accomplish your purpose through us. As staff leaders of the caring front lines, please lead us on. As the board of directors, bind us as one. And as we plan for the future, give us wisdom. And in hoping, give us faith. Yes, may you all be honored and glorified in all that we do today. And remind ourselves, it is truly wonderful to have service above self. This is our most precious name. We pray, our God and Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. And God's people said, Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor John. Again, welcome. I know you've heard the ads for 6 weeks that I'm going to have a message, and it's going to be about that long. So we're glad to see all these faces here. We want to come together once a year to do our business and to celebrate the family that keeps this place running from day to day. It's not an easy job, and we don't always express it as well as we should, but we do appreciate their efforts. So in a little bit, Josh will introduce the staff. At this point, I'm going to introduce the board of directors. So as I read your name, if you please stand and acknowledge that that's you. John Hers, Pat Dillevue, Norm Ferdine, John Jurgensen. John is our vice president. Kathleen Muhlenberg is our secretary. Brian Thompson, he had the unenviable job of taking over Tom Lang's position, but he's doing well, and Tom is enjoying his new house that's out of our jurisdiction. That's why he had to leave. So Dave Thunstead, he's our treasurer. Dwayne Troe, and I'm George Wickman. I'm the president of this board of directors. So with that in mind, please take your seats. I'm going to turn it over to Josh to introduce the staff.
If the staff within the sound of my voice could step out here, please, so that everybody can see what you look like. Don't look so excited, guys. This is fun. This is your staff. They are amazing people. They are family. Sometimes we bicker like family. But we all have the common purpose and the common goal to serve all of you. Start with your assistant manager, Beth Tuberty. Beth is brilliant. Beth runs the office, and I can't function without her, literally. Phil Demuling, I introduced him first last year. He started with us just before annual meeting. He was an intern. Now Phil is a big boy. He is a fully licensed funeral director, which promoted Eli, who has been my student for quite some time, and now he is the intern. And next year, when I introduce him, he will be a fully licensed funeral home, and we will be fully staffed with directors, and that is very exciting. Al, what Beth doesn't do, Al Harris does. If something's broken, he fixes it. And again, he drives the hearse every time, and he can never retire. Speaking of never retiring, we have Connie Tuberty. She has been in the positions through Bayview forever. She currently runs luncheons, watches visitations at times, and gives sage advice. And lastly, I have Jenny Fitzloff, and she is our night, what we call a night attendant or visitation attendant. When you come in, you need to see a friendly face when there's a visitation, and Jenny does a wonderful job of that. The best part of the staff, with the exception of Phil, all of these folks have been in the community forever, and they know everyone, and that is a huge advantage for us, and I cannot express my thanks enough to them. Thank you, guys.
Next, I'll call on Beth to give the report of the registrations and the quorum.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. And I want to extend a welcome to those that are possibly watching our live stream or rewatch this later. You as members are important to us, and you to our family. To begin the 84th annual meeting of Bayview Freeborn Funeral Home this 29th day of April 2023, a quorum of the membership is in attendance with 84 signed members and 1,110 registered eligible voters. I am just going to continue on to the notice of the 84th annual meeting of Bayview Funeral Home was published in the Albert Lee Tribune on Saturday, April 1st, 2023, and each Saturday since. It was published in the Freeborn County Shopper on Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, and ran each Tuesday thereafter. The notice was published on the Bayview Freeborn Funeral Home website and Facebook page on April 13th, 2023. And the meeting notice was initially announced on Kate Radio 1450, March 29th, 2023, along with several ads after.
Thank you, Beth. I would call on Beth once again to read the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting.
Sorry, George, I couldn't say that. All right, the annual meeting of Bayview Freeborn Funeral Home was held at the funeral home on Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. This marked the 83rd year of Bayview serving its members. The meeting was called to order at 10:30 a.m. by Board President George Wickman. The colors were posted and the Pledge of Allegiance was recited by all. Chaplain Don Malinsky shared a recording of his talk on Pastor's House Call and gave the invocation. President Wickman welcomed everyone and introduced the Board of Directors. Manager Josh Fossum introduced current staff of Beth Tuberty, Al Harris, Phil Demuling, Connie Tuberty, Eli Harvo, Jenny Fitzloff, and Darla Adams. Beth Tuberty reported that there was a quorum of 86 signed in attendance. Proof of notice was satisfied with ads on Kate Radio, published in the Freeborn County Shopper, Albert Lee Tribune, and posted on Bayview's website and Facebook page. She read the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting. A motion to accept the minutes as read was made by Dick Mattson and seconded by Ann Christensen. Motion passed. Manager Fossum highlighted several entries in the financial report and stated that the numbers for 2021 were very positive and Bayview's business is growing as its service area widens. In 2020, 68% of the services were cremations, but in 2021, cremations and full earth burials were back to being about equal with COVID lessening. President Wickman announced that the board members Pat Dillevue, Dave Thunstead, and Norm Ferdine are nominated for a 3-year term. There were no nominations from the floor. A motion to cease nominations and unanimously approve and elect the nominees was made by John Lang and seconded by Mary Renshin. Beth Huberty gave a very interesting speech that highlighted the Bayview business from its beginning to present day. Manager Fossum gave the manager's report and thanked the board for letting him serve as manager of Bayview. He named many local groups who received donations throughout the past year from Bayview, including providing the seeds of the field of sunflowers near Manchester. A video played, which was recorded by Beth Huberty, from a tribute evening of the sunflower field in 2021 for our veterans, showing our local members of the Legion and VFW Honor Guard, accompanied by patriotic music and vocals by Jared and Shauna Dawson and their family. Manager Fossum also noted the passing of Pat Lair, who served on the Bayview Board of Directors for 27 years. Board President George Wickman thanked Manager Fossum for his report and his service to Bayview. There was no old or new business. It was announced that there would be box lunches and $10 for each attendee to take home. He thanked those members for coming. A motion to adjourn was made by Ron Venom and seconded by Deb Venom. Motion passed and the meeting adjourned at 11:20 a.m.
Thank you, Beth. You've heard the minutes of the 2022 annual meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? There being none, I would entertain a motion to accept those minutes as presented. And your name, please? You've got that? Is there a second to that motion? Dave Frederickson seconds that motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. That motion has carried. At this time, I'll introduce Josh or ask Josh to come back and go through the financial report for you.
Eli. All right. On the screens, I have our income from sales, profit, and expenses. As you see, our sales increased by $200,000 from 2021, where our sales were $1,341,574.94. The cost of sales is what it takes to all the merchandise and things that we sell was $336,601.02, leaving a gross profit of $1,004,973.92. I promise I read these before we got here. Total operating expense of $904,891.69. That's pretty good. Eli, next slide, please. So that leaves our income from operation at $100,082.23. Other expenses, $16,000. You can read that, $16,066. And there's a big difference in taxes this year, from $45,000 last year to $5,000 this year. Reason being, last year when I reported, we hadn't done some improvements. We bought new furnaces, and we still have a couple more this year, so that when we spend money on the business, it keeps our taxes down. So our net income for the year was $116,148.37. With that as well, we managed to purchase a CD for for Bayview of $100,000, which I believe is gaining 3.5%. So we managed to put a little bit aside for a rainy day. For the next time I have to ask for a new hearse, I'm not going to do that. But so we're much like last year. I'm here to report that we're doing okay. If anybody has any questions on this, I'd be happy to answer them. But the numbers kind of speak for themselves here. Okay, George.
There apparently are no questions, so I would entertain a motion to approve that financial report as it was presented. Somebody? And you are?
Bill Searles.
Bill Searles? Bill Searles? Bill, right? Yeah. A second, please. Mary Renchen. The motion has been made and seconded to approve the financial report as presented. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. That motion is carried. At this point, we will have our election of directors. The following directors' terms have expired. Kathleen Muhlenberg, John Jurgensen, and Brian Thompson has filled out the 3-year term of Dr. Tom Lang, and that term has also expired. They've all indicated that they are willing and happy to have another term, another 3-year term. So at this point, I need to ask, are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? There being none, we will cast a unanimous ballot then for these 3 directors and wish them well in their coming 3 years. Josh will come back now with the manager's report.
I'm not using that. That happens to me all the time. That's all right. Good morning. I'm going to let George make this brief. I promised him that I would, as last year I talked forever. They really want to talk to you. In 2022, just so that you kind of know what the numbers are, we had 192 families served for funerals, cremations, chapel rentals, and things of that nature. We had 5 more what we call trade calls, and those are families that are served. They're not given a formal number through our filing system or anything like that, but those are when someone passes here and we have them, another funeral home's taking care of it, but those funeral homes think enough of us to call and have us care for a deceased person. So it turns out to be about 197 people served. Our cremation rate for 2022 was 55.2%. It's been about 55% since I got here in 2019. It fluctuates by a percentage or so, but it's staying pretty much there. I'm not going to read all of these. So I'd like to start after that with thanking a few people. I need to thank the board for your support. You guys are fantastic. And working for you is a wonderful experience. Last year, I did not mention my wife by name, and I've heard about it for 365 days. So I'd like to thank my wife, Chastity Peterson. Awesome. I haven't been married that long. Without her support, I'm probably not going to get her support anymore because I screwed that up. But I need to thank her and my family. My parents are here today. Some of my friends in the back there are here, and I want to thank you all for being here and thanking you for your support. You guys are the reason we're here, and serving you is a great honor. They want to meet you. They'll be here shortly. In the past, you might have seen many of my children here. This year, I have two. They're all getting older, just like I am. I have college students and a daughter who's in a musical, and so the two I had the two grandchildren on the way, so those mothers can't be here. So the two that are here, step out here, guys, are the two who like attention the least. It's awesome. My wife Chastity, my son Patrick, who incidentally is about to become an Eagle Scout, and Nathaniel, who better be someday. Thank you, guys. You can go. We have some things new this year. We are slightly changing the name of the company to Bayview Freeborn Funeral and Cremation Service. And it doesn't sound like a major thing, but it is amazing how often we get asked, do you do cremations? And in my world, every funeral home does them. But it's a manner of advertising that will tell people what we do. And it's not a very big change. We'll change the sign, that's about it. But that change will answer questions for people just by the name. As I mentioned before, we have 4 new furnaces. We have a couple more we're planning on this year. I like to say our furnaces were vintage or original to the building, which is not a great thing for a furnace because now repairing them was becoming expensive in and of itself because they had to make parts almost. If you come into our building upstairs, we have given it a facelift, new paint, new furniture, and updated it to look a little bit more like it's 2023. And we managed to do that with credit card points mostly, which was wonderful because we pay for our caskets through our suppliers with credit cards. We built up enough points that the entire upstairs was nearly just through points. And if you get a chance to come in and see it, it looks marvelous. We now are doing a lot of the in-house accounting on our own through QuickBooks, and Beth has tackled this head on, and she's done a fabulous job. And it's amazing, and it's saving us money through accountant fees. We're still overseen by the accountant. We're just doing a lot more stuff ourselves and not having to pay an hourly fee. Lastly, one of the things we have new, a gentleman named Richard Hoyam is here, came in and asked us if about travel assurance and if he's traveling, what would happen if something happens to him when he's away from here. And we got in touch with a company called Apazi that it ensures if something happens to you from 75 miles away, you're brought back here, and it covers all the fees, whether you're in another country or in another state. And it covers, if you're in another country, consulate fees and all the officials in another country that you might have to bribe to get you back here. And I thank you. It's great when you as members bring something to us that can affect change. And so thank you, sir.
Well, I figured now that I'm fairly retired, that my wife and I were going to do a lot more traveling. And I didn't know a darn thing about this. I heard it from your competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, to me it was great. Because now my wife has issues. I kind of do, but so, like I said, we're going to do a lot more traveling. And I want to take her places that she's never seen. And just see God's creation before we go. And if something should ever happen, because we get in a car accident, and with all these murderings and stuff going on lately, yeah. But I thought for cheap insurance, and it's a one-time fee, it's cheap. It's just amazing to me. That way you don't put the burden on your wife, you don't put the burden on your children. Like I said, I was impressed.
Well, thank you. And thank you for not saying the competitor's name. I'm almost done here. In the reading of the minutes of last year, it was mentioned that I mentioned a few things that we donate to. And one of the really great things about this job and this co-op, and you all should be very proud of, is the fact that we get to give back to the community with some of that financial stuff. And it makes us feel good. It makes us be a part. And that's huge. By you all sitting here today, you too are a part of that. And this year, I'm actually going to read the list of things that we donate. We donated $15,624.35. That number's a little bit off because we also give $2,000 in scholarships from here as well. But I'm going to read the list because it's important that you guys know who we support and all of you in Freeborn County. I'll make this fast. We have our two $1,000 scholarships, one of them for someone going into the medical field and one a general scholarship. We've given to the Alden Area Community Foundation, Albert Lee Youth Basketball, Albert Lee Family Y through golf sponsorships, as well as their fund drives. Albert Lee, Freeborn County Chamber of Commerce, again, through the sponsoring a hole at their scholarships golf event, as well as donations to help them keep running. We donated to Mercy One's Phase 2 program so that they can bring more healthcare to Albert Lee and people have options. The Albert Lee Hockey Association, Alden Area Lions, Alden Conger Knights, the Alzheimer's Association and the Alzheimer's Walk, American Legion Honor Guard, the American Legion Golf event sponsorship. We gave a donation to Caribou Coffee to give gift cards to frontline workers as a thank you. We donate to the Eddie Cochran Weekend, Daybreakers Kiwanis Scholarship. There's a lot of scholarships. We like doing things for kids. They're the next people who will serve. Friends of the Brick Hall, Glenville Emmons Post Prom, Halverson Elementary School Jump Rope for Heart. Again, we donated money for all of the seeding of the sunflower fields. And as long as they keep doing it, we'll keep donating that. The Humane Society of Freeborn County, the Life Center of Freeborn County, I don't spell well, Quilts of Valor Project, Marin Lake Days, MS Hope for Muscular Sclerosis, the Noon Kiwanis Club, NRHEG After Prom Party, PCN Graduation Event, Pheasants Forever, St. Theodore Catholic School, True Friends, Backpack Meals at the Methodist Church, and the food pantry at the Methodist Church. All those things we donate to. That's amazing. And we're proud to do it, and we will continue to do that. Because if we don't donate to the community, if we don't give back to the community, we cannot expect anybody to come here for us to serve. It's that simple. And I couldn't be more proud of the things that we do with that. With that, I'm done. It's not 45 minutes like last year. I thank you all so much. Thank you for all that you do for us. This place is amazing, and couldn't be happier to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh. That was a good report. Is there any old business that someone can remember from a year ago or 2 years ago that we need to bring up and bring you a progress report on? We don't have any from up here, but maybe somebody has something out there that they would like to talk about. If not, is there any new business that should be brought before the board to consider in the coming year? No new business either. So, okay, well, with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Robert Bowling? Bolly makes that motion. Is there a second? Deb Venom seconds that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion's carried. Thank you once again for attending. And don't forget, there's box lunches in there for you. So thank you for coming.
help with passing out or?
I think usually the PRs people, they just all gotta do is hand them a box.